Hi there guys, Sam here, welcome back to another video. Join me once again in my Mark 7 Golf R to talk a little bit around the Mark 8 Golf R and actually around the new Audi RS3, using potentially a bit of its, well, the same sort of technology in sort of like the Haldex four-wheel drive system, also known as the Quattro system. And yeah, to talk about that, so let's get straight into this one. So yes, welcome back to another video. I hope everyone is all well. And today, just like a quick little update really, something that I've kind of read about recently, and I'll leave a link into the description to what I read. Now, this is quite an interesting topic because if you're not aware, as I'm sure a lot of my subscribers actually are, but if you're a new viewer, you know, welcome to the channel. There's a lot of sharing of parts between certain groups of cars, sometimes even different manufacturers. But Volkswagen, Audi, they're in the same group, they're in the same partnership. So essentially they will share parts. So when I do a lot of content on the Volkswagen Golf R, it overlaps with, say, like the Audi S3, because essentially it's the same car. That's the idea. It's got the same EA AAA engine, similar Haldex four-wheel drive system, rebranded to Quattro. That's how it works. And in this day and age, in 2021, things are happening that you have to be so tight on costs and budget constraints and everything that it just makes sense in a mass-produced car to share as many parts as you possibly can, because it saves on production costs, which is what you want. You know, you're still probably going to sell the car for a similar amount of money, and you're not spending a whole amount of money on a whole new technology to the car. Now, the new Audi RS3 comes out, and it's set to come out, I believe, potentially the end of this year. I keep seeing pictures of it, and I'll put pictures up as I'm talking. And I have done a bit of content on it before. Now, 2.5 litre 5-cylinder engine. Hopefully it still sounds fantastic even in this day and age where noise and things are being reduced. But people have always kind of criticised, some people have criticised, not me particularly, because I've always enjoyed some of the charms of the RS3 just from having experiences it in the past, and the noise being one of them. Yeah, it sounds like a supercar, to be honest. That's what the impression I was kind of getting when I've been in it. It's potentially the handling is not as great. It's a little bit more safe and secure because of the Quattro system. You know, it's potentially heavier than, say, like this has got a 4-cylinder 2-litre engine, 2.5 litre 5-cylinder. It's going to weigh a little bit more, even if they do things to reduce the weight of it, which I know they did in the facelift. You know, it's still going to potentially lead to understeer and not necessarily as fun of a drive as you'd think. Which is conversely weird because this car is a lot of fun to drive, my Mark 7 Golf R. Now, what they've done in the Mark 8 Golf R is they have redesigned the Haldex system, so at the rear it's more rear biased and you get that more agile feel. That's really, really cool. So for your extra potentially list price between £55,000 and £60,000 as an RS3, what are you actually getting extra over, say, like a car in the same type of platform? I found this confusing in the last sort of year or so and how it's kind of worked out, speaking to owners and of, say, like the Audi S3. Now, the Audi S3 in the UK is about £1,500 cheaper than a Mark 8 Golf R list. You get a little bit more power in the Mark 8 Golf R, but the main cost increase is around that different feel with the Haldex system to make it more entertaining to drive. That's my understanding. Either that or they're just building on the popularity of the car. And, you know, I know it's got such a big following. You know, I've had nearly 760,000 views on this channel, and yeah, most of that is all Golf R related. So the popularity is there, but I've always found it confusing because the Audi badge is more premium, and as a result, you would probably, most normal people who are not really into the finer details of the car, because let's be honest, it's, you know, you're splitting at hairs really between a lot of these cars, you'd probably save the money and you'd get a more premium badged car with maybe a better working interior. And I do see the popularity in the S3, and yeah, to step up and spend a little bit more on the Mark 8 Golf R doesn't always make sense. But now I think it kind of potentially makes less sense to step up to an RS3, because for nearly the best part of £20,000, you know, once you spec an Audi RS3, you're always getting close to sort of the £60,000 mark, the new one. And it looks like the Haldex system and that rear biased four-wheel drive system is being completely transferred over to the RS3, whereas in the S3 it didn't really have it. It just had sort of like the old one was my understanding, like the one in this Mark 7 Golf R, my Mark 7 Golf R. So what are you actually getting extra? You're getting a little bit more power, 420 horsepower the RS3 is rated at. You're getting that 5-cylinder engine, so you're getting the sound of that, and you're getting a premium Audi badge. But in terms of how the car's actually going to drive and feel, a Mark 8 Golf R is probably where you're going to want to be at. And that £20,000 that you can potentially save, you could spend that on road trips, you could spend that on track days, you could spend that on maybe optioning your car to a more, a nicer spec, which I've got a video coming on tomorrow actually, because you guys have really been helpful in sort of suggesting the best kind of specification for your Mark 8 Golf R. So, Akrapovic exhaust and all that kind of stuff to really bring the life out of the car and make yourself feel a little bit more comfortable as well and enjoy the car more. So with this news of the fact that they're just sharing parts again, I find it's becoming a little bit repetitive. It's just becoming a bit of the norm. And if you do look into your stuff, and if you do watch a bit of my channel and you listen to, you see some of the comments from some of my subscribers, lots of knowledgeable people on this channel and part of forums and all this kind of bits, and people know their stuff. They're not getting, confused by sort of marketing speak where you think an RS3 is going to be a completely radical new car. It just, in the real world, it just isn't. And that's just the way it is, and it is like that in every single market. An Audi RS Q8 has a very similar sort of build and chassis kind of process to a Lamborghini Urus. Yet the price difference between those cars is about £100,000. So it's the exact same as you go lower down the food chain, essentially. I think certainly from my point of view, with money being always quite high on the list of a lot of people's minds when you've got a lot of other things to pay for, stepping it back a little bit and still potentially getting 99% of the package, almost the same package with all these parts sort of being shared, it makes it so much more appealing than it ever has done in the car industry, if I'm honest with you. I want to know your thoughts. Do you think the fact that the RS3, and again, quoting sort of like the article that I read about it, having the new sort of rear biased Haldex system is going to make for a fantastic car? Will it make you get it, or will it make you just think I'm going to save some money and go for a Mark 8 Golf R? But I am interested to know your thoughts on the article. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. It's a nice community channel, and feel free to get involved. And give this video a like if you've enjoyed the content today. But thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video. I think you will enjoy it, to be honest with you, and plenty more content to come on the channel. But have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you again next time. Cheers, guys.